Halloween. A special time of year when, when scary stuff happens and shit. So, what do you think when it comes to Halloween? Ghosts and ghouls, pumpkins with scary faces, witches that cast dastardly tricks, serial killers, the feeling that you're going to get fat the next morning because you ate too much candy, the Grim Reaper, the devil himself, the very depths of hell, bunnies! What, you don't think of bunnies? You don't think of bunnies when it comes to evil things and Halloween and scary shit. Well, I do. But then again, I just got done playing Hell Yeah. Oh, hell yeah! Wrath of the Dead Rabbit. No, I'm not kidding, that's actually what it's called. This interesting little piece of work right here comes from a French developer called Arquido Studios, who previously released games for mobile platforms and indie marketplaces. Now they've somehow gotten friendly with Sega, and are moving up the ladder, releasing their very first $15 downloadable game for Xbox Live Arcade, PlayStation Network, and Steam. And I gotta say, it's an ambitious one that leaves quite an impression. Part game and part satire, this cartoony romp through hell has been out for a couple weeks now, and I think I'm gonna review it. Story. Once upon a time, in hell, the almighty Prince Hare, who was a bunny, got dethroned by the next person in line, Prince Ash, who was also a bunny. Yeah, bunnies rule hell. See where I'm getting at here? And this dark prince happens to have a very dark secret, a secret love for rubber duckies. And it just so happens that a sneaky photographer from hell managed to take a picture of him bathing with his favorite rubber toy. And now that shit's all over the Hellternet. The internet for hell. What provider do you think they have? Rogers? Comcast? AOL? These scandalous pictures have already seen 100 views, and now Ash is taking it upon himself to find and kill all 100 of those monsters. Because I'm pretty sure that view count isn't going to go up anytime soon because, that's totally how viral media on the internet works. So yeah, with the help of this weird squid dude and his crazy jetpack saw blade wheel invention, Ash is about to do a lot of killing. Can Ash recover his stolen pics, destroy all who witnessed them, and regain the respect of his underlings? Well, go find out. A fucking bunny in hell! Concept. Hell Yeah is kind of a mashup of several different game types, though the big two here are Metroid and WarioWare? What? Yeah, we'll get to that in a bit. Your objective, of course, is to find and destroy all 100 of the monsters who know about Ash's ducky pics, and it throws you into a big, fully explorable, interconnected world that is per tradition with games that use the Metroidvania style. Your primary mode of transportation is the aforementioned jetpack wheel saw blade thing. While there are parts that'll have you either on foot or in a vehicle, you'll be spending the majority of your time in this thing, and with it you'll have access to long-range weapons, a multi-purpose drill saw attack, and a jetpack jump that goes pretty high. This 360-degree drill move serves as both a melee attack as well as a means of digging through dirt that often blocks the way. Depending on how upgraded your wheel is, you'll be able to pass through several different kinds of way-blocking dirt. You got your basic low-level pink dirt, which is weak and kinda looks like cotton candy and sometimes has jewels in it. You got your regular-ass brown dirt, which is tougher, and then you've got your molten magma-looking red dirt, which you can't break through until the late game. Weapons come in all shapes and sizes, from a machine gun to a more powerful Gatling gun, a missile launcher to a more powerful rocket launcher to a more powerful MIRV, a laser that bounces off walls, a revolver, a shotgun, a flamethrower, and holy water. Oh boy, that shit's green. I call it the snot gun. About half the weapons are optional things that you can pick up and upgrade at a local store, in hell, that's owned by a robot bunny, in hell. There's lots of bunnies in hell! You can also purchase permanent upgrades that increase your maximum health or weapon damage, as well as temporary power-ups like a shield that absorbs damage for a short period of time. And of course, you can also get random hats for Ash and skins for the wheel. Yeah, nothing says badass like strolling through hell with red Baron goggles and a giant donut. That's what I'm talking about. Fighting the monsters are kind of like mini boss fights, where you whittle down their health to 0 and then partake in a minigame to finish them off. And that's where the whole WarioWare comparison comes in. Fail one of these little micro games and you'll take damage. Win, however, and, well... Oh, damn! There's a ton of these minigames too, each with their own unique kill animation. Whoa.
Good dog.
You don't see that every day.
Shark bait.
Five, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0.
Well, that happened.
Grace of Doom.
What? What is this? A trivia question? What the fuck? Oh, what the fuck was actually the answer? This is fucking awesome! Finding the monsters is pretty easy thanks to a really easy to read map system as well as a radar that'll point you in the right direction should one still be in the same map as you. There's also a handy monster index that lets you keep track of how many guys you've captured? What? Okay, so I guess you don't kill them. On second thought, I guess that actually does make sense. I mean, they're already dead. Where are they gonna go, Detroit? So yeah, even though it looks the opposite, monsters don't actually die when you defeat them. Instead, they get sent to a place called the Island, which you can usually access through the main menu. However, you will pay a visit there in the early game, when it's first introduced. Here, defeated monsters will hang out at a vortex area with some dude who looks like a reject from Day of the Tentacle, and they can be sent to one of 4 areas for work. Sending monsters to one of these 4 places will make it likely for you to receive a present in the main game. It really isn't that much, but it is an amusing little feature. When you're not on the death wheel, you're either on foot or in some kind of vehicle. When you're on foot, you really don't have any means of attacking or defending yourself, so it becomes a lot more puzzle-centric, forcing you to use the environments to do away with enemies. When you're in a vehicle, it's either a submarine or some kind of spaceship, sometimes even with a fuel meter that goes down as you move around. You know, I never thought that hell would be this diverse. There are quite a lot of themed areas here. Yeah, you got your traditional volcanoes and ruins, but you also got a factory in hell, a tropical casino in hell, a bunny nightclub in hell, space, which I can only imagine is above hell, a hell museum, some weird LSD trip world, and quite possibly the most scary place in the entire universe. The Happy Cute World. Ah, this is so adorable. There's vibrant colors, there's rainbows everywhere, there's happy puffy clouds, there's cheery music about bunnies, they have a dress code that prohibits ugly things from getting too far in. Ah, Ash is gonna have fun blowing the shit out of this place. So yeah, conceptually, this game is pretty solid so far, but just how well does it play?
Hello? Hey?
Gameplay.
360 controls are being referenced here, so if you don't like it, then go ahead and make the translation yourself. Twin-stick shooter controls apply here. The left stick moves you around, and while you're in the wheel, the right stick aims your weapon. Pressing the right trigger while aiming will fire off your weapon. Otherwise, you'll do the drill attack. You can change your weapon either by cycling through them using the left bumper, or by using the D-pad to navigate a Metal Gear-esque L menu. Categorized, of course. The A button makes you jump, and the jetpack will keep you in the air so long as the button is held down. Gotta say, this thing handles pretty well. The air control is tight, and while it does take a little bit of getting used to, the drilling controls are decent. The only problem that I have with it is that the twin-stick nature of the controls makes shooting and platforming at the same time a little bit difficult without pretzeling your fingers, and oh jeez, that can get strenuous on the wrists after a while. X is our context-sensitive use button of the day, as well as the confirm button while on the island, and the right bumper will zoom the camera out and freeze the action, letting you get a better idea of what's around you. It is a little annoying that you can't actually move around while zoomed out, but whatever. The game's weapons are based on a kind of overheaty cooldown system, even though the meter says ammo. Your ammo can quickly replenish itself, and if the meter goes down to 0, then the weapon becomes unusable for a couple of seconds. So yeah, overheat system. Vehicles can control in one of two ways. If you're in the submersible or the anti-cute suit thing, then you'll be able to steer in any direction and fire missiles and torpedoes ahead of you and depth charges below you. The spaceship handles kinda like the subs, except you can fire in any direction with the right stick. Kinda like Geometry Wars, but with much less eye strain. When on foot, you have a double jump that can take you to high-ish places, as well as a wall jump that sucks balls. It can take you pretty far vertically, but it's got a super short horizontal range, making it situational as hell. Get it? Hell? Hell yeah. Okay, I'm sorry. Hell yeah does adhere to a lot of standard platforming conventions, and not all of them are for the best. For example, when you get hit, Ash jumps backwards, even if he's already in the air. The controls are pretty good, but not perfect. You will sometimes get stuck in a corner, and you will sometimes accidentally wall jump. But the wall jumping in particular is something that you'll immediately forget about when it's done with. Oh, one more thing. This game condones gambling! Yeah, let's go to the casino and see if we can get ourselves a jackpot. Alright, baby. We're gonna win this. We are gonna fucking win some money here. Come on. You know, success like this takes a while. You gotta be patient. Gotta love how I'm pretty much making as much as I'm losing here. Yeah! I fucking did it! Ooh, got an achievement too. Alright, now let's get back out there and spend this shit and... Oh. Oh, god damn it! Remember, kids, when it comes to gambling, even if you're winning, you're still a loser.
Presentation.
Hell yeah certainly does have a charming aesthetic going on here. It's all 2D and hand-drawn looking and shit. I always love it when modern games do this. Yeah, sure, you can make some really breathtaking looking stuff with the latest 3D rendering technology, but there's something about 2D hand-drawn stuff that just has a lot more heart in it. You know what I mean? The character designs are really cool here, especially when it comes to the 100 monsters. Badass. What? No, but seriously, these monsters are cool looking. In fact, I'm gonna go out there and say that Arcado should get in talks with Nintendo. Maybe they could help them out with Pokemon 6th Gen. The only problem that I really have with the visuals is that sometimes it's difficult to distinguish between hazards and decorations, but other than that, it's pretty sweet. The audio sounds like what you would expect from this kind of game, that being it's cartoony and awesome. However, there is one weird thing that's going on with the music that I've never really encountered before. I don't know, it's weird to explain, but it sounds different on headphones than it does on my speakers. On my speakers, it kind of sounds like it's got some weird radio quality to it. I think it has something to do with surround sound placement, but I don't know. Yeah, so you hear music's all compressed sounding and shit, but regular sound effects? They all sound normal. Weird. To be honest though, I actually kinda like it better when it has the shitty radio sounding quality. It only adds more to the aesthetic charm of this already aesthetically pleasing game. As for the music itself, love it. I mean, I've been playing it for the whole time during this whole video, so, I mean, you can be the judge of it too, but I'm certainly digging it. Yeah, now this is boss music. Oh man, we got some really early 80s punk rock sounding shit going on over here. Yeah, how could hell be any worse? And of course, the graphics and sound all come together in the minigames, which are just awesome. I mean, how do you not smile and chuckle the first time you see this? So, hell yeah, 100% style. Honestly, I'm surprised at how fluid the controls are. I mean, okay, yeah, there are a couple of problems. It's not Super Meat Boy or anything, but it's still pretty good, you know, when you don't have to put up with some of the bullshit physics. I also love just how varied the gameplay is. More often than not, these types of ambitious indie games tend to focus on one or maybe two particularly interesting mechanics to carry a 3 to 5 hour experience. And while there is absolutely nothing wrong with that, it is nice to see someone try to mix it up. With all that said, the minigames really are the star of the show here. I mean, they certainly sell it for me. They just add a really wonderful layer of nonsense to a game that already threw logic out the window. It's not all perfect, though. There are a couple of annoying minigames, like the one where you have to find the weird egg thing that doesn't belong. Or the really pointless chewing thing. I don't know what else to call it. The loading times can get pretty ridiculous. It's not even that huge, and it's got the load times of a PlayStation 1 game. Yeah, those are just minor nitpicks, but honestly, there isn't too much wrong with this game. Well, except for two things. The submarine portions are weak, the movement is alright, but you don't have the same freedom of aiming like you do in the rest of the game. Because you can only fire ahead or drop things down below, you're gonna come across a bunch of enemies that'll get on top of you and basically beat the shit out of you, and there's barely anything that you can do about it, and god damn it! But the one big thing that truly puts a damper on the entire experience has got to be the fucking damage knockback. Of all of the old school game quirks that they could have used, why did they feel like they needed to tack this one on? It makes precision platforming difficult and leads to way too many cheap deaths. You can get knocked into spikes that kill you instantly, or you'll just get stuck in stuff and be in a permanent damage loop until you die. And you always jump backwards, so even if you turn your back on an oncoming projectile, you'll still jump backwards as though you're jumping into it. What? I gotta love physics. You can still have a challenging game that demands precision and sharp reflexes without having to resort to stupid shit like that causes artificial difficulty. As far as glitchy nonsense is concerned, I actually haven't really come across that much. Once I wall jumped to a place that I'm pretty sure I wasn't supposed to get to that way, but that could have just been something that was supposed to happen, but I don't know. Once I tried looking at the leaderboards, and the leaderboard itself didn't show up, but I actually think that was because my internet was giving out. The only truly weird thing that happened to me in the game was during the introductory trip to the island. I did all the stuff that I was supposed to do there and then went back into the main game, but halfway into the loading screen, the game just shut down and went back into the dashboard. I've never had that happen before with a downloadable game, and I've never had that happen since. Hell yeah, I may have a couple of problems that'll occasionally rear their annoyingly ugly heads, but honestly, this game is one hell of a good time. If this ultimately ends up being what hell is like, then damn, I better start robbing banks and killing people because I want in. If you got $15 to spare and want to try out something crazy with some sweet gameplay ideas featuring bunnies from hell, then Ash has got you covered. In hell. Bunnies in hell!